Right. I'm going to go out for a walk, I think. Small walk.
Good morning. This is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Tuesday, the 25th of November. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.substack.com. It's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. All right, got a first thing to say is I've got a post out this morning, and I'm talking about the key resistance levels and equities there, so I would suggest you read it. And the other thing to mention is that I'm out tonight, so I won't be able to do the post-market charts today. So don't wait up for that. All right, I will be back tomorrow morning though. Okay, right. In the short term, the week's buy signal has reached target on EFs and NQ and on RTY. And is getting pretty close on YM and has reached the possible near-miss target. DAX and the STX had already reached their possible near-miss targets. Am I seeing any larger inverted and shoulder patterns or anything forming? No. Although on the RTH charts, I've got some decent-looking potential double bottoms, one of which is already broken up, and that's the one on IWM. All right, so we will see how that goes. Let's have a look at those on the big picture charts. Now, one thing I was saying was the key resistance here that may be reached is the daily middle band. Now, we're 60 handles short of that on ES and about the same on about 50 handles short at the close yesterday on SPX. That is the key level. We're testing the 50 DMA at the moment, but the key level obviously is the daily middle band, and obviously the same on the Qs, because these are the two key ones, I think. Again, we're testing the 50 DMA. Again, we've got a higher target in the daily middle band area. But what I'm looking at that is the daily middle bands in conjunction with the head and shoulders, which have broken down. Now, I've got the daily middle band on SPX. That closed yesterday at 67.54. Obviously, that is declining. And we've got the right shoulder high here at 67.70. So we will see. That is basically the key level. If we lose this head and shoulders here, then I do not have an alternative pattern. We could potentially be forming an alternate head and shoulders here, but it wouldn't be as good as the one we just lost. And break and convert that daily middle band, and we are likely to be going to retest the all-time highs. Exactly the same goes on the Qs. Again, the right shoulder high is very, very close to the daily middle band. If we break and convert that, and chances are we are heading higher. So into retest the highs, because the question is, has the Santa rally started already? I did note at the end that if we do see more downside from here, which I think we well might, and we've got a very nice pattern set up for that, then I'd be expecting to see that next week and the week after on SPX. After that, the drag from just the Santa rally, the slowdown trading, is going to be difficult to continue going down, and I'd be looking for a Santa rally at that stage. Ideally, from some stages where we could form some larger head and shoulder patterns. We will see how that goes. All right, looking at Dow, daily middle band there is at 47.36, and I've got the right shoulder high at 468.44, so a little below that. Again, if we see a break up over that, that's also potentially double bottom resistance to take this higher. So this is a pretty important level. And actually, I've got it's a bit oversized on SPX. So I'm not really regarding that as a double bottom. On Qs though, this could be a double bottom, but the nice looking double bottoms are on Dia and on the IWM chart where that has already broken up. So just having a look at the IWM one. This is the double bottom here. That's already broken up, and I've marked the target on the chart here, which I posted in the post this morning. The head and shoulders that I was talking about last Thursday has already failed, but as I said, we'd already had a head and shoulders which broke down, and that one's not invalidated until we get over 246.38, and the daily middle band on IWM is currently at 240.53, and we're very close to a test of that right now. Breaking converting that is less of an issue here. I'm mainly looking at that as the key resistance levels on SPX and the Qs. All right, looking at DAX, DAX, we're seeing a bit of a rally here. At the moment, we're only back testing the broken head and shoulder support. I would say, though, we've got an RSI 5 buy signal fixed on the daily, and that could well follow through. We've got an inflection point here, and the point of the post this morning is basically just to give you the levels where that inflection point breaks up. If it doesn't break up, then chances are we're going to see at least a retest the low and very possibly more downside. Looking at Nikkei, we've got a nice looking head and shoulders here. It's very nice. If we see a breakdown, that would have a target in the 43,500 area, and it is supported by an open RSI 14 sell signal. So we shall see how that goes. All right, looking at DX. DX retested the high. Kind of looks like a bull flag forming from that high, or a bull flag possibly with a lower low to come, or this could just be a bull flag triangle. Either way, I'm leaning towards seeing a retest of this high, but we're at an inflection point here where we could either break up or we could break down in a move which might well just take us all the way back to these lows, basically with a double bottom that has failed. We will see how that develops. I'm not really seeing an awful lot of helpful the other currency pairs. Really, I'd expect this to go a little lower on USD and GBP USD, and they may well. Hey, Doug. On USD JPY, kind of looks like a bull flag, just as DX kind of looks like a bull flag. We're not getting a lot of hints from the other currency pairs here, but I am expecting to see a retest of this high, and we'll see how it goes from there. ZB, we've got a weak 6-minute sell signal fixed, and this may be failing just as the last one failed. Is this a potential double bottom? Yes. And I've got to draw something in. Right. Okay, it's not allowed. Let's do it slightly differently. All right, what I was going to draw in here, but it doesn't actually seem that it's got the... it'll let me do shapes, but I'm going to do it with 2 lines instead. We've been trading in a range in recent days, and really an inflection point here where we could go down directly, or we could just head higher into a high retest, and then chances are we'd go down from there. But here we have been trading in a range, and this is the above and the below, and this looks like a breakup. I'm leaning towards seeing a retest this high, and if we see that, obviously, this second week sell signal will also fail. All right, looking at ZN, this could see a retest of the high too. This seems kind of a waste as we already had a beautiful double top here, but we may set up a marginally smaller double top with a retest of this high as well. I'm looking at CL. Week 6-minute sell signal has reached the possible buy signal, reached possible near miss target, and then almost come back to the low, at which point I reset it. I am wondering whether we might see a breakdown and a retest of this low. We'll see. HO, we've got a 6-minute buy signal fix. This has become a full-sized one over time. Nice looking setup here. I'm thinking we're just doing a partial retracement here. I'm not expecting to see a retest this low. RBOB, nice looking double bottom here, which is broken up, but it looks as though that's going to fail at the open. We have got a 6-minute buy signal fixed, but this double bottom I've marked in here looks as though it's going to fail. We shall see. All right, NG. NG, this could be a head and shoulders here, but it's not pretty. I'm skeptical. We will see how that goes, but I am wondering about, at the moment, this is kind of looking like a bull flag forming. We have got a possible weak 6-minute buy signal forming, which we didn't have earlier. In GC, we got a 6-minute sell signal fixed. Could still see ABC, but I've got to say, this hasn't really been moving much in sympathy with equities. I was thinking that when we were seeing big declines next week, that we might see big moves down in precious metals. We didn't see that. So for me, the next obvious target is actually a retest of this high. SI, we got a 6-minute sell signal fix as well. Kind of looks like a bull flag forming. Palladium looks like a bull flag forming, which is starting, not a bull flag actually, this looks like a double bottom forming. And we've got a little falling wedge here, which has broken up. I'm leaning towards the upside here, but I think we've probably got a bit of negative divergence to play out to the downside first. Again, we've got a falling wedge, which is breaking up here on palladium. And HG, this looks like a potential bull flag, and that's been breaking up. I'm leaning towards seeing a retest of this high. I would expect this to go in with sympathy with equities. I was wondering about that, though, because it didn't really go down much with equities, but it seems to be going up with it. All right, looking at KC. I'll do a review of equities at the end quickly, Doug. I'm looking at KC. We made the double bottom target, and we're now back over, trying to break back over the monthly pivot. If it succeeds, we may well see another retest of this high, and I'd like it ideally to go a bit higher to hit a target I was talking about on the bigger picture webinar on Sunday. Looking at SB, this looks like a bull flag consolidation, and I'm leaning towards this breaking up into the double bottom target in the 15.43 area. Looking at CC, we've got a falling wedge, which is breaking up. Nice looking potential level bottom, 60-minute buy signal fixed. CT, we were forming a falling wedge, and that has broken up. So looking for a rally, potential part formed IHS or fairly asymmetric double bottom here at this resistance up in about the 64.85 area. Looking at lumber, again, we got a falling wedge. Again, that looks as though it's starting to break up. No, not with any confidence so far. And we've got a 60-minute buy signal fixed on ZW. This no longer looks like a bull flag. I'm not sure what it does look like, actually. So I'm still waiting to see if we will form. I've got another possible trend line here, which I've been watching. I'll leave that on, actually. So waiting to see which way this goes. Could this still be a bullish consolidation? Yes, and we've got a weak 6-minute buy signal fixed. ZC, we've got a possible bull flag here, and that is starting to break up. Weak 6-minute buy signal has now reached the possible near miss target. On soy, possible topping action. Still got a weak 6-minute buy signal fixed here as well. ZL, we've got a nice looking potential level bottom, although it looks as though we may be forming, retesting the low and forming an alternate one. There's definitely scope for a rally here, and watching to see if we get it. On LE, nice looking falling wedge, hasn't broken up yet, and HE, nice looking falling wedge, hasn't broken up yet, but we do have a nice looking little potential level bottom and a weak 6-minute buy signal fixed. All right, just to recap on ES, we've got the weak 6-minute buy signal Friday morning has made target yesterday, same on NQ, RTY's made target a bit earlier, and YM has reached the possible near miss target. So basically, all of the buy signals from Friday morning are cleared out. In terms of the post I did this morning, that covers all the levels really. We've lost the first head and shoulders on IWM, but on Dire, I've got resistance at 468.44 area. But I would say that we could be forming an alternate head and shoulders here. And actually, that could be a better head and shoulders potentially than the one that could be failing. So if that fails, I'm not too worried about it. I'm not too worried about the IWM one that failed yesterday. The ones I am concerned about are the SPX one with right shoulder high at 67.70.35, which is a pretty good match with the daily middle band, and the Q one. Where we've got the right shoulder high at 61403, which again is a pretty good match with the daily middle band. Those are the two I'm watching. If those fail, I'll be leaning towards seeing we would need a fail and a sustained break up over the daily middle band. But if we see that, then I'd really be looking for all-time high retests across the board. All right, great. I won't be doing there won't be any post-market charts. I was very glad to get that out because I'm actually off for the rest of the day. I'm not going to be I'm going to be out tonight, so I'm not doing a post-market review tonight, but I will be back tomorrow morning. So, all right, everyone take care, and catch you tomorrow morning. All right, cheers.